Welcome to the Libra Love Lounge, the show where I read posts on Reddit and give them relationship advice. My name's Eliana Camargo, and let's jump into the first post. My boyfriend, 27 male, smashed my foundation to prove that I, 20 female, am beautiful without it. What should I do? My boyfriend has always made comments about how I don't need makeup and how I don't need to cover up my face or my freckles. I've always taken it as a compliment, but I still wear makeup every day. Yesterday, while I was prepping my face to apply makeup, my boyfriend suddenly came up behind me and threw my foundation bottle onto the floor. It smashed everywhere, including on me, and I screamed, mostly because I was shocked and confused. My boyfriend seemed a bit regretful and told me he'd done it to show me how I don't need makeup at all. What? How is smashing her foundation showing you that you don't need makeup? I think there's other ways that you could do that. And also, just because someone doesn't need makeup doesn't mean that they don't like makeup. Like, I know that I don't need makeup, but that's like one of my favorite parts of my routine is sitting down, playing a YouTube video in the background and just painting on my face. Like, it's one of my great joys in life that I adore. And so this is ridiculous. I didn't know what to say. I was literally stunned and even a bit scared. I left the room without saying anything. I really don't know how to feel. Obviously, it was a bad idea for him to do it. It was a Dior foundation, so it cost a lot. But I really can't decide whether it came from a good place. Was it a misguided attempt to show me he loved me? Or was he just backtracking after making a mistake? Yeah. I'm really not sure how I should feel. I'm not sure if I'm overreacting. It's not like he threw it at my head or something, but it does feel off. He doesn't have to throw it at your head for it to be bad. Like, just girl. What should I do here? This is a problem. I feel like this is a symptom of something worse, of showing you his character and what kind of this is just ridiculous. Like, if you were unhappy with something that he was doing with his life, how do you think he would feel if you grabbed it and smashed it and ruined it? Like, that's not the way, that's how a child shows something to you, not a 27-year-old man. I'm kind of scared to see, like, if this is how he acts over something like this, like, what else is he gonna do? You know? And also, like, why is he trying to control you so much? Why is he so, like, aggravated about this issue where he just desperately needs you to not wear makeup? Like, you can know that, like, as I said, you can know that you look beautiful without makeup and still wear it because it brings you joy and it's fun and it's artistry and it's enhancing your features. And, like, also, it doesn't matter what he thinks. He can think you look beautiful without makeup. You're like, I prefer how I look with makeup, and that's okay. You live your life for you, not for your boyfriend. One, I hope that he cleaned up the mess and not you. Please, Lord, tell me that he cleaned up the mess and not you. And two, he better have fucking paid you back for that foundation, because high-end makeup can be freaking expensive, and I don't think men realize how much money we spend on makeup. But there's an edit, so maybe we'll get some answers. I have broken up with him, woo! And asked him to pay for the foundation, so he didn't automatically pay for it, he had asked for it. Thank you for all the helpful comments who helped me realize what I think I knew deep down. His behavior is a red flag. Thank God! I feel like it's so rare on Reddit to see people actually break up with people that they need to be breaking up with. You know, sometimes in cases like this, I'm like, maybe you don't necessarily need to break up, but like, I don't know. I'm sure this isn't the only red flag that he has, and this is a pretty glaring one. Let's see what the comments told her. This isn't him strongly communicating that you don't need makeup, as you said in a comment above. If he feels you don't need it, great, noted. Thank you for your input, sir. This is him communicating that you're not allowed to wear it, and that's a nope from me. Yeah, exactly. Like, why is he controlling you? Why is his opinion more important than yours about about your appearance and how you adorn your body? Someone replies to that comment saying, this 100%. I think my wife is beautiful with or without makeup, but I'll never prevent her from feeling beautiful with makeup. It's her choice to wear makeup. It's her body. I wouldn't want her to ruin my shit, so I can't imagine ruining her makeup. OP's boyfriend is an asshole at the very least. We don't date boys who destroy our things. That's a solid standard to have for yourself. We don't date boys who destroy our things. OP has a comment saying, I sent him a request for the money a few hours ago, as well as a long message saying that his behavior is a red flag and we shouldn't be dating anymore. But he's ignored both messages. He's acting like I haven't seen them. He just messaged me saying we should go on a picnic date soon. I guess he's hoping I'll forget it if he ignores it for long enough. That's an even bigger red flag, like just stacking red flags on red flags on red flag. OP also says, I wish I had taken a photo of the smashed foundation before I tidied up. So she cleaned it up. He smashed her foundation and she cleaned it up? Like, that's just, why? Why would you be okay cleaning up? I would have demanded that he cleaned it up when he's the one who smashed it, and he also doesn't want to pay for it. Like, that's just, how do boys like this exist? Oh, and someone responds to them saying, you cleaned it up? Oh, I'm so sorry. My ex used to do this, smash things, and then I cleaned it all up. He went to prison for setting my house on fire. So if you were worried that this isn't a big enough red flag of things to come, Apparently it's a massive one. Let's move on to the next post. I'm with an amazing boy, but I'm scared I'm not in love yet. We've been together 3 weeks. He's really amazing and caring and loving. I mean, he's everything I wished for. The thing is, my last relationship ended very badly and I was really hurt. I also was really dependent on my ex. After the breakup, I worked on finding myself again. I know I love this boy. I care a lot for him and I want to make him the happiest. When we're together, it's just magic. We're really close and all we do is laugh and be happy. I really enjoyed moments with him and miss him when he's not here. I don't want to lose him or what we have. I want to be able to fall in love with him, but I don't know if I'm just scared or if I deny my feelings because I'm scared to lose myself. He knows all this. He says he'll be happy to wait and to help me, that love takes time and he understands it. My therapist said that maybe I'm scared and distant by message and call because my breakup was by it and it left me broken. Sounds like she's questioning her love, not her distance while they're talking on the phone. Everyone says that I am in love and scared or to let time do the work. I don't want to lose him. I want to show him that I can be a good girlfriend and how much I love him. They've been together 3 weeks. Sorry. I just had to go back and be like, wait, how long have they been together? Like, has it been like 6 months and she's questioning if she's in love? It's been 3 weeks. No one falls in love in 3 weeks. And if you do, that ain't love. That's attachment. I mean, maybe. Sorry, I don't mean to offend you. Maybe there's people out here falling in love in 3 weeks. I know someone's gonna be in the comments be like, I married my wife after 1 month together and we've been together for 25 years and we're happy. Good for you. But that's just, I'm sure y'all developed love over time, but that's just not what I would call love in the beginning. The normal, healthy people typically don't fall in love in 3 weeks. So I don't know why you're questioning this so much. Like, you enjoy spending your time with him. You're happy with him. You're rightfully scared because you've been heartbroken before. We're all scared when we get into new relationships after we've been heartbroken. Give it time, girl. Give it time. It's normal to be scared at 3 weeks. I think your therapist needs some work on why she's not questioning why you're questioning whether or not you're in love. This is a weird question to me. Girl, give it time. You shouldn't be in love in 3 weeks. It's fine. Let's see what the comments have to say. 3 weeks? That's nothing. In my experience, women actually fall slower than guys. Not been my experience, but I've heard that before and it just confuses me because that's not what I see in society. It's not what I've experienced. Makes sense as they are the more vulnerable sex in many ways, so slower to get to feeling in love and asking for commitment. See, I feel like that should work the other way. We're more vulnerable and so we're more like in tune with our feelings and so then we fall in love faster. But typically that is 8 to 12 week time scale. I think that's a more reasonable amount of time to say that you've fallen in love. All right, next post. Am I the asshole for questioning my husband? I'm 32 female, married to my 37 male husband for 4 years now, together for 10 years. We have no children and don't plan to. We've had a great relationship and marriage so far with an active sex life. I haven't felt or noticed any red flags in the marriage and didn't feel there were any from his side either. 2 nights ago, we were relaxing and watching a movie when he asked what I thought of his friend. Let's call him Alex. I asked why and he asked if I thought he was attractive. I said, yeah, sure, he's a good looking man, but was confused. He then asked if I'd have sex with him if I was single. Where is he going with this question? Don't ask questions that you don't want to know the answer to. Like, is this like a insecurity thing? That took me completely by surprise and I asked where that was even coming from. He said he'd been secretly fantasizing about me being intimate with his friends. Okay, that's not where I thought this was going at all. He also said he'd spoken about this with his friends too and that there was some interest. This was way too much for me to handle and I asked him why he'd even consider this without asking me. I said I had no interest in this at all and wondered what else he had shared. He has taken a few explicit photos of me in the past with my consent. He said he hadn't shared any of those pictures, just spoken about it. I told him this is way out of line and have been at my sister's house since then. I have no idea how to deal with this. I considered it a massive breach of consent and don't know what got into his head. My sister says I'm being an asshole for not considering why he might have done this. And giving him another chance, especially since we've been together so long. Oh, so she's considering breaking up with him over this? I would love for any advice to help navigate through this. I'm interested in why her reaction is so large about this, like why she's contemplating ending things with her husband of 10 years over him suggesting to his friend they have sex. Like she said, it feels like a breach of consent. A breach of consent. That he asked his friend if he'd be down to fuck his wife. I mean, I guess that's weird, but like I'm confused about the consent aspect of this. Like he asked his wife, hey, are you into this? And she said no. He's not forcing her to sleep with his friend. So I guess I would ask her like what meaning she's giving this, like what consent has been breached and how it makes her feel and like really get to the root of that, of what the issue is here and why she's like seeing her husband in a different light now that she wasn't expecting this. I'm curious what the comments will have to say about this. It sounds like he broke trust with you. He sort of offered you to his friend without your knowledge or approval. He took his fantasy outside of the bedroom and seems to have made a pact with his friend to agree to have sex with you if you agree. Now all he has to do is convince you to participate, right? He checked in with you. Do you think my friend is cute? Would you sleep with him? It sounds like he may have indeed shared your nudes. I don't know why they're assuming that. I wouldn't assume that if my imaginary partner asked his friend this. It might be like a little bit weird. Like, I'm not into that. So like, why are you, this isn't my fantasy. It's weird that you're like opening this can of worms without talking to me first. But I wouldn't assume that he was sharing nudes. Like, that's another, like, talking about things with someone and like sharing private photos, I feel like are two very different things. So I don't know why you're just assuming the nudes have been shared. Especially because like you don't need nudes of somebody in order to want to sleep with them. You know? We all go on dates with people who are fully clothed and we want to sleep with them. So like that's not a necessary component of this conversation with his friend. How disappointed will he be that you won't have sex with his friends? Will he try to coerce you into doing so? Will he guilt trip you for your shocked reaction? Have you lost faith and trust in him? Why is he going to the extreme? This is not where my mind goes at all when I read this. Like, maybe there's definitely a possibility, but she said there's no other red flags in the relationship. So like, why would he be coercing her? You know, why is your mind jumping there? Someone responds to them and says, there's no sort of to it. He offered her up like he was her pimp. He's now asking for OP to consent to it. He wasn't offering her up like a pimp. These comments are getting wild. Yes, I agree that he has shared her intimate pictures. He had to advertise the goods he's selling. Again, you don't need nudes to advertise that somebody's hot and would want to sleep with them. Why is everyone jumping to these conclusions? I don't get it. OP, your sister is a huge toxic dumpster fire. Okay, apparently I am a huge toxic dumpster fire too. Does she think it's wonderful for your spouse to pimp you out to his buddies? Another comment says, husband is completely out of line having this discussion with anyone other than you first. Completely unacceptable. Disgusting even. And again, another comment, not the asshole. It was a total breach of trust that he talked to his buddy about it first. Okay, here's I have a very different mindset to what's going on here. I think it's normal for people to have fantasies about either threesomes or in this case, I guess he wants to be a cuck or something. Like, that's not out of the realm of impossibility, especially after 10 years of, you know, you want to spice things up. So it's not weird to me that he would then seek to see if that's even a possibility. You know, probably what the issue is here is you would want him to have talked to you first before his friend. That's kind of like the iffy no-no zone here of like, why are you going to him first and not me to see if even I would be into that? I don't think that that's him pimping you out. That's him. It might have been more comfortable for him to discuss that with his friend over you. Maybe the reason why I'm not seeing it in the same light that all of these comments are seeing it in is because, oh God, do I want to share this on the internet? Let's just say that an ex of mine had mentioned to a friend of his that he would totally be down for a threesome with his friend. And then he told me afterwards that they had this conversation. Long story short, no, we did not have the threesome. Even though I did not react the way the wife did, I was intrigued by the idea, but it just, you know, things get messy. It's not something that was worth entertaining in the end. I did not feel pimped out by him, or I didn't feel weird that he discussed this possibility with his friend before he discussed it with me. Like, that just, I was fine with it. It was totally normal. I feel like sometimes it can be less vulnerable and less scary to bring up that fantasy with a friend before your partner, and you can feel like safer doing so, that you might be more worried about what your partner thinks, if whether they say yes or whether they say no, and then you go to your friend and you suggest this and then your friend says no, then it might feel like awkward with your partner and you're closer with your partner, so you want less awkwardness with them, so you want to make sure that this is like a go before you even suggest it to them, because it's such a scary thing that you're like, okay, I need to get some like reassurance that this is even a possibility before I broach this scary topic with my partner. Should he have mentioned it to her before his friend? Probably, yeah. Just because he didn't doesn't mean that like you need to break up with him. Doesn't mean that he was sharing nudes. Like, these comments are jumping to conclusions so fast, and I feel like I'm the only one that has a different opinion. So I want to know in the comments, if you were in this situation, how would you react? Do you agree with the comments? Do you think he's for sure sharing her nudes and that this is a complete breach of trust and he's pimping her out? Or do you think this was just a minor mistake that he made, that he should have gone to his wife first, but he felt more comfortable going to his friend first with this sensitive topic? Because there's less vulnerability, is less scary with friends, you know? Because like, friends come and go. Well, actually that's not true. I was gonna say friends come and go and partners are in your life for life. But oftentimes it's the opposite. Oftentimes friends are here for life and partners come and go. Either way, you're closer to your partner than you are to your friends typically. And so it can be less scary to broach embarrassing topics like this with them. Whereas with your partner, you can be afraid that they're gonna have a negative reaction reactions. You want to make sure that you've secured the bag first before you have that like confidence of like, okay, maybe this is a possibility before you go to your wife. And then she still has the negative reaction that you were fearful of all along. I don't agree with these comments. You're right to be upset, but I don't think this is grounds to break up with him. Do you agree with me? Do you think it's not that big of a deal? Or are you with these comments where you're like, oh, hell no, get out of here? This is an interesting one. All right, moving on to the last post. We're gonna read a post from the love subreddit with talking about someone gushing about their love so that we can feel a little bit less jaded about love after reading all of these romance turmoil. And instead, lift up our vibes and believe that love is real and that relationships are worth pursuing after all. I don't know where else to gush, so I'm doing it with you guys. I moved in with my partner recently after a test run of me basically vacationing here for a month or so. After a string of bad relationships, I thought I would never have the dreamy kind of romance I always thought about. Everything has been such a dream, waking up and having breakfast together before work, spending our time after work just living our lives and cuddling and sharing everything with each other. Like I still just watch stuff and play games in my off time, but doing it with him or even just getting to share it with him makes everything a million times better. We're with a few friends right now just hanging out, and he was literally just talking about watching Scooby-Doo. We've been going through one of the series together lately. He looked over at me and said that now he had a permanent partner, he was definitely more interested in checking out more of the franchise as a whole because we're sharing it together. I felt like I was gonna cry. I love him so much. Every time I think about him or spend time with him, all I can think about is how much I want to keep him in my future and build a life with him. I really never thought I would feel like this. Oh, I love it. I love when you move in with somebody and you get to just do the mundane day-to-day things together and cuddle each other as often as you want to. Like, that's the reason why I want a relationship, to have someone to cuddle with. Screw everything else. I don't need anything else. I am fine on my own. I just want someone to cuddle with and someone to be there just for the day-to-day things. And I love reading someone's experience like this where they're like, I never thought I was gonna experience a dreamy, soft love relationship since their breakup. Now they're experiencing it. I love that for OP. I think it's wonderful. I think it's beautiful. I can't wait for all of us to experience that one day in our futures. But on that note, I'll end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to get the tea on even more people's love lives, you can watch another episode of the Libra Love Lounge right over here. Till next time, I'm sending you so much love. Bye.